All right, how's it going, Patreon folks? Today in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys two kind of cloth methods. We're gonna animate a flag, and I'm going to show you kind of the quickest, the easiest way to get a flag animation. And I'm also going to show you how to use the cloth brush and put your logo on the cloth, just as a random addition. And we're also going to put the logo on the flag because it's the same process. So let's do the cloth brush first, because that's kind of the simplest one to wrap your brain around. So I'm going to get a plane here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and shape this to be whatever size I want my flag to be. So it's going to be something like, that's about the shape of a flag, maybe a little longer, and then we'll scale it up considerably. And then I'm going to go ahead and subdivide this by 100. You need a lot of subdivision for flags. And so we're gonna go with that. Well, not flags. This one's just simply still cloth. You can't animate the cloth brush, but you can do a lot of cool things with the cloth brush. So let's go to the sculpt mode and scroll down. You're gonna see this fun little cloth symbol here. And now you can just start working. See, I already distorted it. So what you'll do, I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna bring my radius up and my strength very far up. And then just start moving it around and you're gonna get some cloth. But it's pretty lame. So we're gonna go to the tool here, and right over here, you'll see where it says drag. Say we'll go to grab. There we go. Now we actually have some cloth going. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and add a subdivision surface to my cloth. And we'll do it again. There we go, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. And so you kind of have that, and then you have your auto smooth. So kind of smooth that out too. And these are all basically your presets. You have your pinch point, which is not doing anything for me at the moment. We have push. So that's really nice. And we're going to go here to inflate. That one's pretty self-explanatory. You're inflating your cloth. So that's like something's under it. Grab. Grab is really fun. It's very powerful. Expand. Expand is very clothy, if you understand what I'm saying. It's like a bunch of people sat down there. And snake hook is a funny little one, and I'm not entirely sure what it does. So there you go. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and get the grab, and then let's mess up this cloth really quick. Oh, I did forget one thing. Because we're putting our logo on it, I'm going to hit the tilde key. It's right above the tab key. I'm going to go to the top. And then I'm going to hit tab. I'm going to hit unwrap and project. I'm going to hit U for unwrap and then project from view. That's going to give us a nice look. And then what I'm going to do now is go ahead and mess up my cloth. So I'm going to move out here. That looked bad. One thing is my strength is far too high to really get anything that I'm looking for. You get the basic idea, and you can kind of go in and play with this a lot more. Boom, we have cloth. But we want to add our logo to it. Say you have a project or a client that wants that, whatever you're working on. So let's head to shading and show you how that works. So I have now my fun little cloth. I'm going to click new, and then having the Node Wrangler add-on enabled, I'm just going to hit Control T, and that's going to give us those pieces that we want right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click open, and then I have a folder on my desktop with all my assets. That image, which is right there. Remember, black and white, that's going to help you differentiate things and use masks. So we're going to plug that there. And now we have this massive logo, which looks pretty cool already. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag, and we get a bunch of logos. The way we can prevent that is on repeat, just do clip. And that's going to go ahead and hide the logo. For me, my logo is very much hiding from me. So let's go ahead and find it again, and it's going to be way over there. So we can go ahead and find it on our location. So it's right there, and then we can bring it over. So use your mapping as your location, and then scale it down. This is a very kind of janky way to do it for sure. Not the best way to do it, but whatever it takes for you to find your logo. Now your logo is on this scene. It's completely unreadable. It's unlookatable. I made a different version. So I really kind of overdid my cloth, but there's my logo and it looks ridiculous. But that's the cloth brush essentially. And so what we can do now, we're going to make this look like cloth now. Now again, that looks horrible. So make more subtle cloth looks or don't put your logo on it. And we're going to get a color ramp and go there. And then this black portion, I'm going to make it a nice light blue, kind of like one of my colors here, and then keep that white. And then what we're going to do now is make this look like cloth a little bit more. So we're going to get a bump node. And the magic texture is really your best friend for making the quickest possible cloth. There's a lot of ways to, extremely complicated ways to make cloth. And the magic texture is kind of going to be your best friend because it's just easier. So if you bring up your scale very considerably, we'll give that distance to 0.1 and then bring that strength down. And then this scale needs to be much higher, much higher. And then bring that roughness up. Now we have cloth. And if we want to check this out here in cycles, we're going to go here to the cycles engine and let's just give us some lighting. And now we have cloth. See how that looks like pattern kind of weaved cloth? That's because of this fun magic texture. So that's the easiest possible way to make cloth. And of course, put your logo on it or whatever. Now let's go ahead and make a flag animation. So we're going to go here and do new. So again, we're going to go ahead and make a flag. So we're going to go and just scale it out a little bit. And I'm going to hit RX90 because we are going to be dealing with gravity and we need to kind of work amongst the constraints of gravity. So this needs to be sitting up. And then here we're going to subdivide it a good amount, but not as much as we did last time. Maybe half as much. 50 looks good. All right. And then I'm going to bring this over like this. And let's get a pole. So we just need a cylinder here and we'll bring our radius pretty far down. And then we'll bring our depth up like this. Maybe bring our radius up a little bit. And there we go. That's just simply to be seen, basically. So what we need to do here is get our pinpoints. So basically the pinpoints is where the flag is going to be like attached. So that's going to be your vertices. So here, if you hit tab and go to the face select, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select these faces. I'm going to hold down shift. I'm going to select these faces. And then here on this little triangle, you see vertex group, hit plus, and then with those two selected, hit assign. That's going to make those vertex pieces part of that group. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to the front. I'm going to hit tab. I'm going to hit A. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing. U and project from view. So we can go and texture later. So now that we have that, I'm going to bring this back onto my flag and bring it down a little bit. We're going to go to making this a cloth, a piece of cloth. So we're going to go here to right here. So click that, and then we're going to click on cloth. And if I press play, it falls. So let's scroll all the way down here to shape, and then pin group, and select that group. And now it's done that. But it's pretty lame. So what we need to do two things. First off, let's go ahead and make this thing fly. So we need to get a force field of wind. And I'm just going to hit R to point it that direction. And then we're going to give this a strength of 10,000. Needs to be really powerful. And if we press play, there we are. But the flag is like sticking to itself and it's gross and weird. So we need to go back to our cloth settings and go to your collisions. And then turn on self collision. And I'm going to give my collision quality steps to 5 just for now. And if we press play, it'll probably be a little bit slower. But your flag is going to behave in a natural manner. Notice it's not sticking to itself, it's colliding to itself and then coming back up. And that's what we want in its very basic setup. And then let's go here to shading just really quickly so we can add our logo. So we'll do that. I'm going to go ahead, click new. Same deal, hit Control T with that Node Wrangler add-on. And then do that. I'm going to go ahead and open my image. This one will be easier because I unwrapped it better. And I'm going to click and drag. Do something like that. We're going to go here to clip. And then just kind of move this guy where I want him to be. So if you're ever trying to make like a pirate flag, this is the way to go. Find a black and white image of like that skull logo that they always use, and then just go ahead and get your colors ready. So I'm going to make this one red this time, because I think that'll be fun. So red, that's kind of orange actually. We'll do pure red. And then here, black. Boom, we made. And then let's go ahead and get our bump. Magic texture. And then here in our vector, plug that into the vector. Boom. Boom, right there. The height. 0.1 on the distance. And I just scale this up until it's just barely noticeable. And then your strength, of course, needs to come down too. Look at that. Look how easy that was. And then you can see how it's low poly. Very easy to fix. Just go ahead and add a subdivision surface to it. So let's just do that for grins, subsurf. Now we have this crazy red flag. And it's that easy. And if it's too slow for you, you can go ahead and bake it. So if you want to bake your animation, because it is a little laggy for me. So if I just kind of want to see this here, it's going to go back up. I'm going to kind of catch itself, go crazy. So we can go ahead and bake our cache, essentially. So here in the settings, we'll go here to cache, 250 frames, and bake. And it's going to go ahead and bake through this whole 250 frames. And what's fun is if you see that your bake slow down considerably, that means something crazy was being simulated. So mine's pretty quick, depending on your computer. Maybe slower, maybe quicker. Having a good CPU, I believe, really helps with this process. Boom, now we're done. So now we can check this out in Eevee in real time. So it's a little stiff, and this is where you can go ahead and try to learn about your stiffness and all that stuff and your flags. And cloth animations can get very, very crazy very quickly, but this is the easiest way to get a flag animation just very, very fast. And it's really fun. You can have tons of fun with it, and you can do a still animation. Say you can do a clip where it's like, there we go, there's my logo on a flag. I'm going to render that and put it on my motion reel. Hey, I'm a motion designer. So there you go. That is the quickest, easiest possible way to make a flag animation with a pirate logo or whatever you want, or your own logo, anything. It's fun. It's easy. Everything in Blender has, every complicated thing that I've learned, every complicated thing in Blender has a very easy way to get it done very basically. And that's kind of the basic way to do it with flag. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys for supporting on Patreon, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.